In the following footage, you will just see me musing and reflecting on this matter of the shift in identity. I consider this shift in identity, this fresh understanding and experience of the nature of the self, to be a key point of transformation in the shift in consciousness of the Great Turning and in the work that reconnects. So you will see me here talking about what we learn from the despair work and the redemptive features of each dark emotion that we face. You will see me talking about it in terms of the hero's journey, so clearly articulated by Joseph Campbell, and reflect on the importance of descent in that journey, where the hero cannot be redeemed or fulfilled unless he meets the monster that bars the way. You will hear me refer to the great teacher Carl Gustav Jung and the exquisite and economical way he presented the shift that comes with the Great Turning, shift in our understanding of what the spiritual journey is, from one toward perfection to one toward wholeness. You will see this interlaced with reflections on the ecological self. This shift, beyond the hyper-individualism that brought us the industrial growth society, is, I believe, fundamental to our time. And it can build for us a sense of ballast and interconnectedness in the work that must be done. This is a poem I love by Jennifer Wellwood. Willing to experience aloneness, I discover connection everywhere. Turning to face my fear, I meet the warrior who lives within. Opening to my loss, I gain the embrace of the universe. Surrendering into emptiness, I find fullness without end. Each condition I flee from pursues me. Each condition I welcome transforms me and becomes itself transformed into its radiant, jewel-like essence. I bow to the one who has made it so, who has crafted this master game to play it as purest delight, to honor its form, true devotion. So this capacity, this truth, this experience of being able to face what you don't want to face, what often has a fearful countenance, scares you with the pain that it promises you. And if instead of turning and running, you move right toward it, that is celebrated in core legends of our culture. Joseph Campbell and Heinrich Zimmer and others draw it out, the hero's journey. And feminists are working on the feminist version of the hero's journey, but always it involves facing something you don't want to face. And that's often pictured as a descent. And each of us has made that choice again and again. And each of us has seen herself, himself, or can see herself as the hero who, going down, faces the monster and embraces the monster instead of trying to. eradicate, but take that, and then that turns into some kind of deliverance. And so there's sometimes this sense of just not being able to do anything other than be with that, like some fated appointment from the beginning of time that breaks your heart, and at the same time as it breaks your heart, it fulfills you totally. That you know that this is where you're meant to be. I felt that in Novosibirsk. I sensed that when Patricia talked about her friendship with Joe on death row and what she's learned through him, and everything she learns through him breaks her heart. But that isn't. She has to know it. There is a transformative. You can't pull back from that, because in that, in your readiness to take that in, is a promise for us all that is so big that we don't have words for it. Within the context of our subject for today, which is ourself, the self. This is the primary question in all the spiritual traditions. What do you do with this clamoring, cranky, demanding, incessantly chattering self? As in the root tradition of liberal Protestant Christianity that I'd grown up, the self is crucified. It's sacrificed. But it's also improved and ennobled. And there are traditions where it's punished, and the self is mortified and seen as worthless. And there are the traditions and teachings where the self is purified and seen as radiant at the heart of all things. And then how amazing it was for me to encounter in the Buddhist tradition that the self isn't to be treated in any of these ways: sacrificed, ennobled, improved, scolded, mortified. It's just, you see through it. It's just a convention. It's just a thought form. It's just a metaphoric construct. And we can define it however we want. And the definitions are essentially arbitrary. Carl Jung, and this is one of the things that I most love of that very verbose man, and he put it in astrological terms. He didn't say the Industrial Growth Society and the Great Turning. He said Pisces and Aquarius. But as we move from Pisces to Aquarius, or into the new age, the spiritual journey shifts, is conceived differently. Shifts from being a journey toward perfection to being a journey toward wholeness.